What's up, everybody? We're the Watchers in the Basement. I'm Justin Boyd.
I'm Brittany Pacheco.
And this is bonus
Edition.
content. The stuff we couldn't get to on our podcast. Yeah, right. Yeah, it happens a lot for us. What's next on Game of Thrones? So at the very end of the show, we get to see the trailer for next week. Let's talk about that. What do you think about it? The battle's beginning?
Battle of Winterfell. It's a lot to deal with, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. It's time to do it.
I'm not ready for it. It's
yeah.
Just because it's one step closer to saying goodbye to the whole series in general, but like that battle is going to be huge. We already know that according to lots of people who fact checked and what have you, it's going to be the longest battle in TV cinema history. It's going to be even longer than the Battle of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings: Two Towers, which is one of the best scenes of life. If you haven't watched it, you also need to go check that out.
Definitely watch that.
Definitely, it's really good. But Battle of Winterfell, I just feel we're going to say goodbye to so many characters. And like I said, I'm not ready for that. I'm really not. I'm not ready for that. I don't know if my body can handle it.
Okay, well, let's talk about what we see in the trailer. The first thing they show Grey Worm. He's put on his battle helmet, and you hear Sansa. She says, "The most heroic thing we can do now is look the truth in the face." Ooh. Pretty good quote.
It's a pretty good quote.
As you see him putting the helmet on, he's looking death in the face, basically.
I think Grey Worm's going to die.
Think so?
I think he's going to die. I know our friend Frank here said that initially Grey Worm was going to die. He's recently changed his thought process on that. I'm still going to maintain, like, if we're going to do a Deadpool, which, we may or may not.
I won last time, season 7 champ.
Whatever.
Reigning champion.
But I do think that Grey Worm is probably going to die, just because he's obviously in the front.
Yeah.
He's one of Daenerys's most fierce warriors, soldiers, whatever you want to call him. I think he's going to die. This is going to be the last time we see him.
Okay.
That's my take.
The next thing we see some battle, and then we see Jon. Looks like he's been fighting for a little bit, and he says the Night King is coming. It's very ominous the way he says it. You got the dramatic music.
It's like the Stark motto has changed from winter is coming to the Night King is coming.
Right.
They should just go ahead and add, I looked him in the eyes,
right.
And
then they show a snippet, and it's very dark in the trailer, but you see what appears to be the Night King, someone flying a dragon toward the castle. So
reanimated Viserion, R.I.P.
They also show Arya's running through the castle, and as we saw in the last episode, she was very confident. She's ready to look death in the face. Apparently, she saw death and did not like what she saw.
She probably did.
She's running away, which is the same thing we saw in the trailer for the start of the season.
Yep,
they show a snippet of that, so I'm interested to see what happens there. What do you think?
I'm thinking that because in the last episode that we watched, there was a lot of talk about people going into the crypts. It's the most safest place to be. I think we're probably going to see something come out of the crypts that we're not prepared for, and Arya's not prepared for and doesn't know how to deal with it, and she's running away from it. Girl, I would too.
I just wonder, who is it going to be? Somebody she knows, or is it just the fact that it's a dead person? Obviously, that would be scary.
That would be scary either way.
But what if it's somebody she knows? Or
that would be even more terrifying, I think, because that person, let's say, her dad, Ned
bones
Stark,
are buried there.
His bones are buried there. So that would be really freaky to see a headless Ned Stark coming after her. That's just a crazy thought.
So the trailer continues, and they show the Unsullied army. They're battling. And then we get a shot of Theon. He's got a flaming arrow. As we learned in the last episode, he's defending Bran at the Weirwood tree? Is there?
In the Godswood, yeah.
The Godswood, okay.
Him and the Ironborn are going to be protecting him as kind of like his redemption to, I took your castle, I took Winterfell from you. This is just my way of saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Theon's going to die.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Theon's going to die.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Not sure if the rest of the Ironborn, but Theon's going to die.
So Theon's last episode's Sunday night, so all you Theon fans, sorry.
How many are there of you out there? Just curiosity. But no, seriously, I think, and I mentioned it in our last podcast, that it's kind of like the Gollum effect of why is this character still alive?
Exactly.
What purpose does he have to serve? This is probably Theon's purpose, because we already know that he is the last son of Balon Greyjoy. His sister Yara is hopefully going to be queen of the Iron Islands. Theon doesn't want it, so he's probably going to die.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if he makes it out of this episode. Very surprised.
I agree. The next thing we see, Dany tells Jon, the dead are already here.
This goes back to my theory about the crypts, that Those, and we don't actually know how many Starks are buried in the crypts. We're going to assume it's a long line of Starks, and the crypts go very, very deep into the undergrounds of Winterfell. That's going to be a lot of Starks to deal with if the dead are already here. It's frightening. It's honestly frightening. Again, not ready for this episode. I'm not.
And then finally, Brienne yells, "Stand your ground," as the front line is preparing for what appears to be
I'm not ready.
Probably the White Walkers on horseback.
All those whites and I hope Bran doesn't die just because she was just named the very first female knight in the history of the Seven Kingdoms. You go, girl. Sir Bran of Tarth, make it out alive. Jaime, sacrifice yourself for her, because I've been shipping y'all really, really hard.
I was about to say,
really hard.
Does Jaime save her? Does Tormund save her? You know,
as long as someone saves her.
Someone
that's
saves her,
all
yeah.
I care about. Someone needs to save this
I think
woman.
she makes it. I think we see more Brienne.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
She, after all, she's the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is the episode we just watched.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to seeing Sunday's episode, The Battle of Winterfell.
Which also happens to be a very important date. My birthday. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great day. So thank you guys for tuning in. We hope to see you on our channel, watching our podcast, listening to our podcast on SoundCloud. We also have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us on all of those platforms. Use the hashtag WatchersBasement, and we'll be sure to find you, like you, follow you, that kind of deal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Yep. Thanks.